Hello everybody, my name is OpTiK'Storm, and we are here with another cast. We're going to be witnessing a ZVT between FTAF-Unique, who is also OpTiK'NuBrGNi's Smurf account, and in the bottom left we have the blue Terran SanghooLeeMD. I'm just going to call him Doctor because of the MD. I don't necessarily know who he is. I don't know if he's anyone of vital importance, but I was sent these replays quite a while ago, to the point where I actually had to disconnect from Battle.net. Yeah, so we do have the new overlays up, and I wasn't able to cast these for quite some time. Sometimes out of pure laziness, of just not wanting to do it, so a bit of procrastination, and sometimes because I've actually been busy. So yeah. I don't know anything about these games or why they were necessarily sent. He just asked that if I wanted some replays to cast for the OpTiK YouTube channel, so we're going to get that going back up. I know that it pretty much dropped as soon as it started, but I promise, guys, we are going to be getting it going very, very shortly. We do have a lot of games to be casted. I only have time for one replay, unfortunately. So yeah, I'm just going to cast this game and then possibly upload another one tonight, maybe tomorrow though. Tomorrow will be much better for me, now that I am actually going back to school. So we see that OpTiK'NuBrGNi, or again, FTAF-Unique, is going to be going for that 15 hatchery. And we do have Sanghoo, or Doctor. He doesn't have any gases, which indicates that he's going to go for that 1 Rax expand, because he did get the barracks as well. So both players playing very, very, very standard. Still no gas for Unique, which is, you know, very standard, as I said. It does have an Overlord sitting over here to see if there's any bunkers being placed in the back or anything like that, anything silly. The expansion has gone down here, and I'm going to try calling him NuBrGNi. I should be used to it, but as I see in the, I use these nameplates quite often, as you can see at the top, to remember the player names. So we do have a drone scout that I unfortunately missed, that saw that the Terran was going to go for that 1 Rax expand, so he knows that no shenanigans so far, just everything standard. We do have the Marine coming out. We'll see that second depot to help with the wall off quite shortly. Actually, no, going for a refinery instead, so that's interesting. Refinery before second depot, and he has double refineries, as you can see in the production tab. We do have an extractor being thrown down here for Unique, so he could be going for a delayed mutilating bling style, or he could just go for infestors as fast as possible. I've seen either or in fact he could even go for a roach baling type aggression off 2 base. I mean, I've seen a lot of players delay this gas and then go for that type of really, really early aggression. It's quite frustrating to deal with, honestly, but I think it's better to do it the way he did it, where if there was an SCV scout, which I'm not sure if there was or not, I'm going to try and pay attention to the minimap a lot better for you guys. But anyways, if there's an SCV scout, he'll see that there's just no geysers, which would indicate an infestor style, and then you throw down the geyser after the scouting SCV is gone, and then you transition into mutilating ling, and it kind of throws them off guard. So it's also something interesting you can do. We do have the Doctor throwing down a reactor and a factory as soon as he has the gas to do so. Also getting a bunker to be very safe, and as some of you may know if you've played or watched NuBrGNi play in ZVT, he likes to send out like 8 lings, 6 to 8 lings, very, very early on, and if this bunker's not there, they usually just die. I think he's at an MMR where that doesn't really happen anymore. I think it stopped in Diamond, but you know, that's how Mr. John likes to play, is that Diamond League. So I'd imagine that Doctor is going to throw down, or swap out the factory and the barracks and get a starport immediately after this factory. It's a very, very, very standard opening for Terrans these days. And as I mentioned before, these are a little bit older, and I actually had to disconnect from Battle.net. So this is either pre just 1.5, so there wasn't necessarily a hotfix in terms of balance, or it could be pre Queen change, but I'm guessing based off the styles the players are playing, it's going to be post Queen, and I don't know if I can't really ever tell the Overlord speed difference. So we do have that starport being thrown down, and Tech Lab immediately on the barracks, so he's going to go for the Banshees. Some players opted to get Cloak, some players don't. I prefer not to, just to get the Banshee out, get 1 to 2 Banshees, and then swap out my factory and starport so that I can get medevac and tank production going as fast as possible. We'll see what Doctor decides to do here. We do have Cloak being researched, so he's going to be investing a little bit into those Banelings. And we do have some good creep spread here for John as well, or OpTiK'NuBrGNi, OpTiK'Storm. We do have 2 Hellions trying to keep their way active. Honestly, I don't like that go into the Xel'Naga Tower. Actually, there we go, doing a good job here, keeping active. You want to try denying creep tumors. You don't want to allow him to get the creep spread that John's getting at this point. OpTiK'NuBrGNi is actually really, really good with handling his creep spread. He has a, if you haven't watched this play, he's very, very high APM, and he can multitask very, very well. It's one of the things why I like watching him play. So it's interesting. You'll see the map is going to be flooded with creep eventually, but you want to do the best you possibly can. If you watch Day9's TVZ over Tage's, excuse me, let me itch my ear really quick, over Tage's TVZ, all he does is doing these little contains and denying creep as long as possible. We do have OpTiK'NuBrGNi transitioning a spine crawl over here, so these Hellions are going to have to back out. We do actually have a third gas, which I thought was quite interesting. I'm looking to see the production. We do have double engineering base, so he isn't going to be going mech, but that's quite an early gas, honestly. But I suppose if he, well, he's actually reactoring the barracks, so I'm not sure what he's going to be investing that gas into, unless it's just double upgrades and you need that. Maybe I don't know what you can afford entirely. We do have +1 weapons and stem being researched. We still have Banshees on the way, because we do remember he did get that cloak tech, so he wants to invest pretty heavily into those. Creep spread still being sent over at the south side for OpTiK'NuBrGNi, and he does have a little Ling run by over here as well, bypassing the Hellions. They will be spotted by the Banshees, but now OpTiK'NuBrGNi will also know about that. He does have a Spire on the way, so these Banshees aren't going to be any problem at all. He will need an Overseer, or just really, really, really good Spore placement, and hope that the Terran doesn't micro the Banshee at all. Running those Lings into the Hellions, I'm not sure if I agree with that, but hey, he did kill off all the Hellions, so he's free to creep spread. So I guess that's pretty good, killing all of the Hellions dead. We do have the Banshees trying to target fire the Spore Crawler, and the Queen as well. Neither Queen dropping, but this one going at about 50% health. He is throwing down another Spore Crawler. The Spore Crawler did finish, microing the Banshee back. The Spire is about 80% completed, and there is an Overseer now, so the Queens are going to be able to pull this back quite nicely. We have some good Overlord positioning here for OpTiK'NuBrGNi. He can check for any types of drops from the north or south ends. He also has an Overlord ready. He could morph that into an Overseer or just send it over to the Terran base and see what kind of style he's going. We do have 2 more barracks being thrown down. Does he have a third base starting? Yes, actually it's being floated. I was wondering what that was. So he does have a third base trying to be taken right now. OpTiK'NuBrGNi doesn't have the Xel'Naga Tower control that he needs. If he had it, then he'd be able to see, okay, he's getting a planetary fortress here, let's not allow that to happen. But unfortunately, John playing a little bit in the blind here. And you reuse here a lot, that's okay. We do have 10 Mutalisks on the way. Does he have a Baneling Nest? Yes, he does. Does he have the speed upgrade? No, not quite yet. Looks like the planetary fortress is going to complete, and that's going to be such a difficult base to be able to destroy for the Zerg player. And Terran on 3 bases is actually really, really good. They can afford a lot of stuff. They don't need a 4th base immediately like Zerg do. They don't need all of that gas. They just need 4 gas is good for a little while if you're going double upgrade style. But if you're going for like a mech, of course you need the extra gas. We do have the Mutalisk being flown into this 3rd base here. Does he have anything besides Marines to answer for this? Well, he has a good substantial amount of Marines, but he doesn't have any Thors or any turrets, it appears. He is getting the turrets that he needs now. OpTiK'Storm is doing a great job keeping those Mutalisks active, trying to do as much damage to that base as possible. We do have some Lings being sent over here towards the middle of the map. I'm not sure exactly where he plans on going with those. He can't engage the planetary fortress unless he wants to take a lot of losses here. He is going to go straight towards the natural, it appears. Going to be able to get one of those tanks. Going to also be able to get that bunker, but there are Marines and Banshees in the back. Going to be able to clean that up, but doing quite a bit of damage. I'm not sure if it was worth it though. Going to try and back out, but again, getting flanked over by these Marines here. Do have some pretty good creep spread. Could be a little bit better now with that, but that's okay. Did he lose a base or something, or is he just long distance mining? Looks like he's just long distance mining. He sent the drones down a little bit too early, but that's okay. I do that all the time. We do have upgrade +1 being researched here for John. He also has the level 1 carapace as well. So, I'm gonna try OpTiK'NuBrGNi. It's so weird trying to cast his games now. so. We have the Mutalisk just being active, and you're doing a great job with that. If you're going for this Mutabling Ling style, you just have to keep the Mutalisk active. And running into a turret, he is going to be able to kill it off without losing any of the Mutalisk. There's not a lot of SCVs here. Looking at the worker count, 69 to 46. Terran's not doing too good of a job keeping those keeping that worker production going. We do have the Marines and a couple tanks with one Banshee as well being sent towards the middle of the map. They are going to be going onto the creep though. Is he going to be able to try and shoot, or is he going to try and shoot that back? Or is he just going to go straight for that third base? Looks like he's going to go for the third base. Looks like NuBrGNi sending in his forces of Lings and Banelings now exploding all over the Marines. The tanks have been cleaned up. This little push right here, I don't think I agree with it. I mean, it's just way too small. We do have the Banelings exploding on the Marines. All of the Marines are now dead. Looking at the units lost tab, we have 4150 to 5100, actually a lot closer than I thought. At the units tab, he does have 26 Marines left, so he's still pretty good right there. But we do have NuBrGNi with about, what is that, 6 Banelings here. The third base is going to try and get targeted down again. The tanks are not sieged, but they are going to be moving into a good position now to be able to hold that off. So NuBrGNi will not be able to engage that. He could try to go around for some type of engagement through the top and hit the natural. If he pleased, or he could just go for, you know, a macro style game. He did do quite a bit of aggression there, killed off, well, he didn't necessarily do aggression, but he had a really good defense, held off the Marines and tanks very, very well, so I'd definitely say he's playing at a disadvantage right now, or at an advantage right now, excuse me. We do have the Mutalisk cleaning off one of the Vespene Geysers and backing out immediately. NuBrGNi doing an excellent job keeping those Mutalisks active. Creep spread still about the same spot. Maybe he moved up a little bit. He's going to kill off that destructible rock to allow the Terran to take that bottom base a little bit easier. Just being nice. He feels like he's in such a good advantage. We do have, what is that, the 5th base, or is it the 4th? That's the 4th base for the Zerg player coming up now. And he does have the gases being mined. Only one guy on Vespene gas, but that's completely fine. Happens. We do have the Mutalisk being sent over here to the north. But yeah, we see that the Zerg is going to be able to just start getting that gas and go into very, very high hive tech and start doing some really good transitions. As you see, building up a little bit of bang, not necessarily on the gas, but on the minerals. So he's now going to be looking to trade these Mutalisks and be as cost efficient as he possibly can with them. The Marines all stemming forward, trying to kill off the Mutalisk. I'm not sure if he should have stemmed all of his units. There's only 2 medevacs, so they're also pretty low on energy. They will be able to heal them all up, but yeah, you don't want to waste stems if you don't have to, so I don't know. We do have tanks being sieged up here for the Terran at the 3rd base, trying to defend that planetary fortress. Doesn't want to lose that at all. Mutalisk, are they going to be able to get one tank? Does go down, gets another Marine, but is forced to back out. I don't believe he did lose any of the Mutalisk right there. We do have 1 Thor now being produced here for the Terran. He does have 2 factories, but unfortunately not producing 2 Thors. He's actually, he has the money to do so. I'm not sure what his plans are there. We do have 3-3, about 75-80% completed for the Terran. We do have 2-1 being researched, and that's actually 2 melee upgrades. Is he on 1 evolution chamber? It appears so. I'm not sure if I agree with that. Double upgrades is also great. This matchup is very, very, very intense when it comes to upgrades. I mean, these 3-3 Marines will rip through just about anything that the Zerg can throw at him, especially if he's down on upgrades by 2. We do have NuBrGNi trying to get an engagement here. He is going to be bungling all of the Marines. 3-3 is not completed, but NuBrGNi is going to have to back out, unfortunately. Not going to be able to fight that, and the upgrades have now finished for the Terran at a significant upgrade lead. If anything, he should be fighting right now, but again, the forces have just been pretty small for the Terran. I'm not sure if it's because he doesn't necessarily have the harvest account that he wants, or what it has been, or if it's just the harassment that NuBrGNi's been sending. As you see, it's the supply count 154 to 183. We do have the Lings and Banelings being sent over here. Once the Banelings hit on those Marines, it's going to be a good game for the Terran. Hitting on quite a few, not killing all of them though. The Thor is being loaded up. I bet you can't guess which medevac the one it's in. It does unload, just a little bit of a misclick here. We do have some medevacs sitting over at the Vespene Geyser, not necessarily doing anything. Siege tanks trying to reposition themselves. This base, the 4th base for the Zerg, is up and running. No gas is being sent onto it quite yet. Doesn't decide that he needs to do it, but we do have a ton of drones being made here for NuBrGNi to be able to mine that gas. Alright, so we see the Mutalisk now going to clean up the tower. The Marines all stemming forward once again. He does have a good medevac count though, so he can't afford to do this. But again, you don't want to use it. You don't want to overstem your units, so gotta be a little bit careful with when you decide to do that. If you're close, there's no reason to. OpTiK'NuBrGNi using the Terran space as a maze himself to split up these Marines and try and do damage to them individually instead of facing them in a clump. Doing a great job there. We do have 3-3, or at least 3 attack being researched, and we do have a second evolution chamber for the first time this game. We do have some queens just sitting here, and a 5th base is now underway. He does have double gas here at the 4th base, but no drones into the gas yet. So we do have a little bit of Mutalisk harassment here at the bottom left, but not going to be able to do anything because the Marines are positioned very well. Just trying to set up something so he can do damage at the natural, and honestly, this is a great time to do it. The tanks are all unsieged. He's sending all of his tanks and his Thor back. I would agree with the Thor, but the tanks he doesn't need to send with the Mutalisk. He needs to keep them sieged up in a good position to deal with any type of counterattacks that may be underway. We do have the Mutalisk just, losing a little bit of life, but not too much. And again, he wants to trade those. He needs the supply to start utilizing Hive Tech. We do have +2 flying upgrades being researched. We have adrenal glands on the way, and there's a Greater Spire. Burrow just now actually being researched. Seems quite late, but hey, So we have the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6th base now up for the Zerg player. Just moving around with these Mutalisks. Is he trying to position it for the Infestors to get a good fungal growth, or what is his plan here? He actually is going to back up because he does see the Terran pushing. If he can catch this Terran out of position, that would be excellent. But if not, this may be a bad spot for OpTiK'NuBrGNi. It looks like there we go. We do have the Lings being sent in. Good fungal growth. The tanks now teaching up the Banelings, connecting on all the Marines, trying to split them up. The tanks going down individually. One tank does remain. There was a good fungal, but it looks like all of the Lings have been cleaned up here. He is going to lose that base indeed. The Infestors are going to back out, but they have plenty of energy for more fungals. But still, there's quite a bit of medevacs here, so he's going to be able to hold that off a little bit good. Or the Infestors, even if they fungal, they will get out healed. We do have a lot of Lings here being sent out for OpTiK'NuBrGNi. No Banelings quite yet. He did have to use them all. So it looks like the Terran's going to be pushing forward to that 3rd base of the Zerg. Is he going to be able to get it? The Lings surrounding the tanks go down. There's a good fungal growth. Landing on the Marines, the Lings coming to help. Another fungal growth landing. The Marines do go down. 2 more Marines being sent over towards the Infestors. Not going to be able to kill them out. There's still some Lings remaining. We do have 12 Corruptors on the way. Going to be transitioning into Broodlords. 22 more Lings on the way. John spending that bank that he had, or OpTiK'NuBrGNi, excuse me. We do have a Viking out for the Terran player. A good handful of Marines. A tank sieging up at the Xel'Naga Tower, pushing forward as little as he possibly can and trying to get himself a 4th base. But we do have OpTiK'NuBrGNi spreading creep at the 4th, being a little bit proactive, understanding that the Terran needs a 4th base because his resources are just slowly dwindling down. Main base has been, well, a little bit mined out. It still has a few more, but the natural pretty much mined out as well. I mean, it's getting dry. The 3rd base also getting dry. A little bit oversaturated. Again, the harvester count 63 to 55. It seems like the Terran has smaller than that when you look to the drones, or the Zerg saturation, but OpTiK'NuBrGNi doing a good job with his macro there, getting a lot of harvesters and such. So we do have 5 Broodlords here for OpTiK'NuBrGNi. A lot of Corruptors as well. Good scan, seeing exactly where the forces are. Stemming forward. Well, it looks like there's going to be engagement. I don't like what OpTiK'NuBrGNi's doing here. He needs to be supporting this with Infestors. The Infestors now coming in. Good fungal growth landing. One of the Broodlords, actually none of the Broodlords do go down. Is he going to be able to kill off the Vikings before losing the Corruptors? It looks like, yes, he will be able to. Another fungal growth landing. All there are tanks and a handful of Marines. The Broodlords are going to be able to push back the tanks. There are quite a bit of Marines now, but we still have Lings here for the Zerg player, now making 6 more Corruptors to help support these Broodlords. The 4th base trying to be taken by the Terran, but the creep spread is doing a great job by denying that. A handful of Marines being sent over there to try and deal with that. Broodlords now sending, so a few of the Broodlings in good fungal growth again. The medevac count is getting very, very low. Now the the Marines are going to fall down very, very fast. The tanks are going to be killed, and I think this is looking great for OpTiK'Storm. The Vikings trying to kill off the Broodlords. One Broodlord does go down, but the rest of the Vikings do fall. That planetary fortress is still up. OpTiK'NuBrGNi will not be able to fight at it, so he could go to the natural main,
kill off all of the tech. The Viking trying to kite the Broodlords back there. There are a few Corruptors here, so he does need to get them fighting. A little bit of Marines over here as well. He could get a fungal growth on them if he so pleases. Looks like he's sending a few infested Terran, but the SCVs are going to repair that base. There's 2 Lings over here to try and deny that 4th. No Overlord spreading creep anymore, but I don't think that the Terran is going to be able to take that base. So now the Corruptors are in a good position to help kill off the Vikings. He needs to be careful. He does try to kite them back. There's the GG from the Terran. Fortunately, just running out of money, and he couldn't deal with the hive tech of OpTiK'NuBrGNi. That was a good game. We could have seen a little bit more creep spread for OpTiK'NuBrGNi here, but, you know, he did a great job. Yeah, I mean, I hope you guys liked it. If you did, please be sure to let me know in the comments below. And again, we will be having more casts. Unfortunately, I have to actually go work, but I will have more casts either up tonight or tomorrow. If you actually do watch this, please leave a comment in the on the YouTube channel, and I actually have access to the emails. So as soon as you do that, I'll read it, and remember that you guys actually do support me. So that'd be great. Thank you guys very much for watching. Love you. Goodbye.